Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Guitar Souls podcast. This is episode number 124. I got it right this time. And I am one of your hosts, Mr. Levi Clay. I am here, of course, with my handsome friend, Mr. Mike McLaughlin. How's it going, bud?
Not bad, considering the first thing I managed to do was touch the microphone. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad.
Good.
Actually, I would argue fantastic. I would argue that I'm absolutely excellent because I don't feel ill in the slightest anymore, which is like, you know, after swinging back from feeling so shitty for so long to feel completely normal and that nothing is getting in the way of things, he says as he nearly coughs, is really nice. So
I've returned to form.
Yeah.
Glad to hear it, big man. Glad to hear it.
Good with that. Other than that, fucking exhausted, as always, because the last week has just been out at gigs with Melissa, or not most nights, but far too many gigs, staying out far too late, you know, and then working all day. So but that's good. I don't mind. I like to listen to music and see people having a good time. So
that's it. It's worth it in the long run, isn't it?
Yeah, you should go out and support live music, people. Remember how devastated you were when you lost it for 2 whole years. 2 years.
If you're not out heckling, shouting for Freebird, spilling drinks on the guitarist pedal board, what are you actually doing? What are you actually doing?
Yeah, good question.
If you're not sick on the window outside of the venue before the band finishes and then help them, or harass them rather, when they're trying to, like, load out.
Yeah.
It's not a real gig.
If you're not trying to climb on the stage when you've got no business being on the stage, it's not a real gig. Still, I would take all of those things just to see people in venues supporting live music. We had a gig on yesterday in Nice and Sleazy's on Sauchiehall Street in Glasgow, which is downstairs from a bar type thing, and there were a bunch of people upstairs that could hear really good music happening downstairs, and they came down, and I was on the door, and they're like, who's playing? And I was like, Melissa Kelly and the Smoking Crows. We've got Blue Milk playing. Melissa's doing an opening set on acoustic guitar as well. Here's a wee flyer. One of the best soul singers in Scotland. And they're like, oh, soul music. And I'm like, yeah, be a good night. And they're like, oh, sounds great. How much is it to get in? I'm like, bargain, just £5. And they're like, nah, I'm just going to stay upstairs. It's like when you can't stretch to £5 to go see a gig, what's the point? Like, it's just a false economy. It's a waste of everyone's time, because on that gig last night there will have been Melissa's band was just 6 people last night, and then Blue Milk was another 4 people. So that's 10 musicians. 10 musicians. If they can't at the end of that, if it's not viable financially, like if they can't walk away with something, and nobody walked away with anything last night, if they don't walk away with something, then it inevitably results in them going, can I do this? Can I keep doing this? Can I afford to keep doing this? Because it will cost people money to do the gig. So if you're not willing to pay a £5 to go and see musicians play, knowing that the money is going to the musicians, you are part of the problem. Anything you want to add to that?
No, just that it's hard. I get the agency thing. I find it really strange they would be so interested until you said it was £5 and then they would act funny about it.
Yeah.
The last band I saw for a £5, was it even a £5? It might have been a £10, but it wasn't a lot of money. It was Mutoid Man, and that was just an absolute bargain.
I don't know who that is.
Mutoid Man?
Mutoid Man? No.
You don't remember Mutoid Man? That kind of really heavy 3-piece? No, kind of stoner rock supergroup.
I'm not down with the kids.
Oh man, you need to listen to Hormones then. I'm pretty sure I'll let you hear the album. Got a song called Date with the Devil.
Potentially.
Another song called Bridge Burner.
Potentially.
Super fuzzy bass. Guy plays like a big aria, explorer shape.
Very potentially, but anything happening in your life? Doing anything interesting?
Same shit, different shovel, buddy. Just working a lot, as you know.
Well, you're missing the Party Cannon news.
What? That I'm jamming with them tonight.
That you have new representation.
Oh, sorry, yeah. So we've got a new management. Well, we've actually got 2. We've got one for the UK and Europe, and one for a dynamic talents agency for America and Canada, which is nice. Couple of gigs coming up as well. We've got York in a couple of weeks. Damnation Festival booked because, which is kind of in place of, because with the slot at Bloodstock, obviously that didn't go ahead. So Damnation's kind of, in my mind, it's making up for the fact we missed Bloodstock, so that'll be really cool. Carcass headlining, so that's definitely one off the fucking books. Oh, I got to support Carcass. Tick. But other than that, just grinding away. The album should hopefully be out in the next couple of months. I think it's been set for kind of January time.
Okay.
And we're currently working on sorting out all our PR stuff for it and marketing.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah. So,
also we got a rough version back from the playthrough in the Cat Cafe.
oh, the Cat Cafe, yeah.
It's looking banging.
Yeah.
So once
Nice.
it's all fully edited, it'll be molto bene.
See, lots of things happening for the Guitar Souls. Lots of things happening for us as well, of course, including, did you know? This show is brought to you by our friends over at Ormsby Guitars. We want to remind you guys that there is still time to get involved in the upcoming Run 16 guitars. Those include these incredible hypes available in 5 new colours. That Dragon Burst is absolutely stunning. You can also get your hands on one of the Metal X's, again available in a range of finishes. My personal pick has to be these headless Vs, absolutely outrageously cool. Imagine one of those in an 8-string, I absolutely love these. And finally, the Ando San signature model, available in 6, 7 and 8-string availability. Go and check them out at Ormsby's website right now. This show is also brought to you by our friends over at Rev Amplification, a one-stop shop for all of your tonal needs. Head on over to their website to check out their range of lunchbox amplifiers, both the D20 and G20, 20-watt amplifiers with built-in 2-notes torpedo technology so you can record direct into your computer. If that doesn't suit, you can also check out one of their highly popular G2, 3 and 4 pedals, giving you that trademark Rev tone in a stomp box. Incredible tones, I use these myself. And finally, you may notice in the back of these videos a Rev Generator 120, an absolute masterclass in modern electric guitar tones. Check it out at their site now. So as always, a huge thanks to our friends and family over at both Ormsby Guitars, Rev Amplification, and I'll pick up a V-Pick. Our friends over at V-Picks. Go and check them out. Give them your love and support. Let them know that we sent you. And yeah. Thank you very much to those guys one more time. Shall we crack on with the show?
Let's do it.
So we don't go too long.
Let's do it.
We are going to start by letting you guys know that there is a new Mastodon single out. In fact, they've announced the new 15-song album, Hushed and Grim. The new single, I love it. How do you feel about it?
I'm going to give it a good few more listens, but it certainly sounds like something I would be into from the get-go.
Yeah.
It kind of reminded me of some of the stuff off of Crack the Sky a wee bit, but Mastodon, every album's somewhat different.
Yeah.
Banging, absolutely banging. I didn't listen to their last album. Was that Leviathan?
No,
Leviathan's one of the first ones, sorry.
long time ago.
Emperor of Sand. Just reading this. So Mastodon has announced Hushed and Grim is the title of its new 9th full-length studio album, marking the follow-up to 2017's Emperor of Sand. Sorry, Leviathan's like one of the first ones, isn't it?
Yeah.
Record is due out on October 29th via Reprise Records, featuring 15 songs. The rest, it's fine. But the single from it, Pushing the Tides, it's pretty banging. That's the one, obviously.
Yeah, definitely.
We've seen on it. The video's pretty weird. I don't know how much I'm into it, but
yeah, definitely recommend people go and check it out.
if you're a Mastodon fan, you'll probably be into it.
I'd heard people talking about it and saying it was, quite different, and I wasn't sure what to expect. And within the first 5 seconds, I was like, "Yeah, I like this. This is cool. You've got my attention here."
It's kind of like prog System of a Down for the start, isn't it?
Yeah, I just respect the fact with Mastodon that it's not just, as it could be, drop D power chords, which is what you just mentioned. System of a Down, like almost all System of a Down stuff is just drop D power chords. There's not much going on.
Or drop C.
One finger bar chords, shall we say? Whereas Mastodon are just like constantly trying to find all these weird sounds that they can play, and I respect that. So yeah, all the respect in the world. Mastodon, please do go and check out their new single. We're not going to show you anything. We're not going to show you the video. We're not going to show you any artwork because, fuck these bands trying to claim our podcast because we had the nerve to try and promote their work.
Do you think it's the bands, or are we going to just go straight for Orchard Music?
No, it's not the bands, but it is the bands. If somebody does something bad on your behalf, you work with those people. So,
okay.
Yeah.
I get you. That's fair.
We don't have the power to change the way record labels work. We don't have the power to change the way publishers work, but the artists do. The artists very, very much can put in a phone call and go, hang on, I've just seen that you've done this on my behalf. Stop doing that.
I think it's going to have to be a lot more than just one band doing it.
Of course.
But it's the same idea as any of these power struggles, isn't it? You need to seize the means of production.
There's the old a Rolling Stone gathers no moss, which isn't relevant here, but you push a snowball down a hill and it gets pretty big. So yeah,
Yes.
it's got to start somewhere. So could be just one band. Anyway, let's continue on by talking about Nickelback, because we talked about this Nickelback Rockstar lawsuit a couple of weeks back, which is just the most ridiculous thing we've ever seen. And Nickelback have responded to the Rockstar copyright lawsuit.
I think what I like most about this story is that neither one of us have read it.
Yeah.
So it's going to be genuine reactions.
Yeah, it could be awful, actually.
Yeah, it could be, but fuck it, we'll get a laugh anyway.
It literally could be Chad tweeting lol, you know?
Well, we're either going to be laughing with or laughing at. Either way, it's good fun. So, obviously, it's metal sucks, so I apologise that the potential quality of writing. People with functioning ears the world over scratched their heads last month when Kirk Johnson, a former member of the band Snowblind Revival, brought a lawsuit against Nickelback for alleged copyright infringement in their hit song Rockstar. Other than a general similarity in lyrical themes, wanting to be a rock star, not an uncommon song topic throughout the ages, the two tracks had little in common to the ordinary observer.
Again, I like the writing style on this as well.
I'll give him his due. This one's been pretty funny. Say Vince Nielsen or something, he calls himself in it. Now Nickelback have fired back, claiming the two songs sound nothing alike while outlining musical examples of their differences. Johnston claims the theft happened when Snowblind Revival sent their demo to several music companies around 2001, including Nickelback's label Roadrunner Records. He says that a substantial amount of the music was copied, including the tempo, song form, melodic structure, harmonic structures, and lyrical themes. I mean, given that it is verse, chorus, you can't really claim that they stole the song form. Otherwise, every song would be up for real problems here. An official court documents obtained by Blabbermouth, Nickelback refute those claims, stating Johnson's suit is on shaky legal ground to begin with. And this is where I'll start quoting from Blabbermouth's investigations. Johnson failed to identify any specific lyrical similarities between the works at issue. He could only conceivably point to the titles of the two works and lyrical themes. Titles are not protectable by copyright, and their similarity cannot give rise to an infringement claim. Nor does copyright protect the commonplace lyrical theme of imagining being a rock star. This seems really sassy. I'm into it. Addressing elements of the musical compositions as they compare to one another, they said, as for the music, it is evident to an ordinary observer that the sound recording of Johnson's song has a steady driving guitar beat, whereas Nickelback's Rockstar does not and is obviously slower. The two songs are not in the same key. Johnson's song's in a major key, whereas Nickelback's Rockstar is in both major and minor. Further, the styles of the two work are different. Even Johnson acknowledges that his band, Snowblind Revival, and Nickelback play different genres of music. Unlike Nickelback's hard rock sound, Snowblind Revival would be considered an alternative rock band with more indie and eclectic roots. And most importantly, the melodies of Johnson's song and Nickelback's Rockstar sound nothing alike.
Now, I don't want to take Johnson's side here, but I have to kind of bat back a little bit on that one, because the arrangement, if you like, of a song is not the song. Yeah, so that they're essentially saying there, because we play different styles of music, and when we say styles, they're so closely related, it's just completely irrelevant. You know, if Nickelback had stolen, I don't know, a fucking Nicki Minaj song, but it was in a hard rock style, they can't then just go, yeah, but we're totally different style of music. Like, that's not the composition. The composition is the melody and the chord progression. So I feel that's a bad point there.
The last one was kind of grasping at straws, wasn't it? I think it was more so just like and you'll know that we're right.
Yeah, I think that's inevitable in settings like this, though, because they both parties acknowledge that they are musicians and they're trying to get somebody to side with them who won't be a musician. So you can mislead that person or attempt to mislead that person as much as you like, as we saw in, you know, like the Katy Perry lawsuit and things like that.
Was that when they were trying to
say
copyright a motif?
A descending scale, a descending major scale, a unique melodic motif that hadn't been used up until this point. Just astonishing. So
brain melting, isn't it?
I actually did go through the last episode, I should point out, and edit out as much of my coughing as humanly possible. But there's only so much of that you can do when your mic picks up my cough. So
I'm to blame, right? Okay.
Yeah. No, it's my setup, so I'm definitely to blame.
Carry on.
Cool. So yeah, that lawsuit's not going to go anywhere for this money-hungry motherfucker.
Aye, he'd rather trade this life for fortune and fame.
I like that. Yeah.
Cut his hair and change his name.
Well, I don't know if he cut his hair. It's 2001, so 20 years ago. So he's probably lost most of his hair by now. That just happens naturally.
I'd even bick my already balding head and try and keep my name.
Yeah.
Who knows? Anyway, prick.
Yeah, let's
nonsense.
move on to another. I don't know if this is a license to print money or not. Fender finally releases
I know.
the long-awaited Stratocaster Lego set.
I have never in my life wanted anything more than a Fender Princeton Reverb and Strat that I could build out of Lego in my house.
Yeah,
Never. Nothing's ever came close.
I know. I actually really do like Lego. I've got a bunch of Lego sets in the house.
Lego's minted. I'm just taking the piss that
Yeah,
the unnecessary false hype.
yeah. Have you seen it? I mean, I know you can kind of see it there.
Just that thumbnail, I haven't, but if you scroll down,
Yeah,
I'll read through it very quickly.
It's not very good.
I'm going to be honest, like, they would need to do something ridiculously big or ridiculously customised customised parts to make it worthwhile, other than it just being something like a wee showpiece. Ever wanted to build your own Fender Stratocaster from scratch? How about one of them brand famous guitar amps? Now you have the opportunity to do both, thanks to the Big F's latest release. Oh my god. The writing in this is making me actually painful inside.
Let's see who wrote this.
Guitar World, but somebody.
Matt Owen.
Matt, your writing is bad and you should feel bad. Admittedly, you won't be able to play your hand-assembled builds, as the release itself sees the brand's venture away from its conventional association with six strings towards a new market altogether. Lego. That's right, Fender has finally dropped its Lego Stratocaster and amp set after teasing us with the initial news of its impending arrival back in October last year. And by the looks of things, the final design has undergone some serious blueprint modifications, looking far more sleek than the original design promised to be.
Incorrect. Right, we don't even need to read anymore. Yeah, I'm gonna bring this up for people. So this is rough as a dog's ass.
Make it stop! It's already dead! Oh, we're going to get copyright struck.
Yeah, no, that's muted.
That bass drop's been copyright struck.
It's I mean, I think we're all going to say the same thing when we look at this, and that's that the headstock is just fucking awful. Absolutely awful. Look at it. Jesus.
They've tried.
Yeah.
Which is where I want to give them credit.
Yeah.
But you don't get a 10 for just trying.
Yeah.
Like, execution is just as important.
I was going to say they're hiding the headstock in there. That headstock looks fucking awful. Absolutely dire.
They've tried.
It's sad to me, right? And the reason it's sad to me is because when you look into the Lego company and the products that they make, it's people's jobs to design these things, these products. And I've seen videos on people interviewing for those jobs. It's a wild job when you think about it.
I would love a job like that, man.
Yeah, just unbelievably cool. And they always do an amazing job. When you look at some of these high quality Lego builds, they do such a good representation of the thing that they're going for out of Lego. And this is just so far off base. This just misses the mark so much that somebody at Lego should be embarrassed. And also, let's be realistic here. Fender have nothing to do with this. Fender have just licensed their brand to be put on this. And then someone over at Lego has just designed this, and they have fucked it so unbelievably. The only people that are going to buy this are kids will buy it for their dads who play guitar. You know what I mean?
No, that's not true. All the dentists and doctors and lawyers will buy them too, and they'll have them up on their shelf in their practices.
Yeah. It is. I mean, that price isn't right. I'm more than 100% certain that price isn't right. They had it listed on the Instagram for a lot more than that, because I remember thinking the price was way off.
Well, maybe they've revised the price, because they've also done some revisions on it, as they say. So what Levi's referring to that you can't see is that they're claiming it's going to be $99, but you had said before it was going to be a lot more.
I saw it on the Instagram. People had posted the price.
Right, let's have a wee nosy and see what it says.
If we can find it.
Aye, so the article that we're reading
says
it
being
$99.
something like $160.
90 quid.
Okay, 90 quid.
No, is the answer. No. No disrespect, but no.
So you get both bodies.
Oh man, like, go and bring this up.
Yeah.
Like, I like the wee amp. The wee Princeton's cool as shit. But look at the state of that
Yeah,
guitar.
that's a good point. The Princeton actually looks great.
But look at the state of that.
Jesus.
Like, again, don't want to be too much of a wank. It must have been an absolute nightmare to design and try and get the ergonomics, but it hasn't been done.
Yeah.
You've done your best.
Yeah,
But it's
everyone
not enough.
everyone knows Fender's trademark squared off corner on there.
Absolutely. It's the scratch plate that I like most.
Yeah.
They've really got that proper 3-ply feel, you know? Oh.
Yeah, it's so unbelievably tragic, actually. And the way and now we're just getting into like being Lego nerds, really.
That's fine.
The way round this is it needs to be bigger, right? If
Yes.
it's bigger, they can round off those corners more. They can work a little bit more with the headstock. But if it was bigger, the price would be higher. And they've worked out that £90 is kind of the limit of what people are willing to pay for something like this.
I would think so, yes. It's quite a lot of money already.
Definitely talked
But you're
about
right.
Lego a lot longer there than I had planned to. You know,
It's because you and I are actual fucking geeky bastards. We can't help it, can we?
let's do this one as fast as possible. Now.
Speaking of geeky, yes.
Yeah.
Man on course to smash world record after playing bass guitar for 60 hours straight and mammoth fundraiser. I like the fundraiser side of it. The rest of it, I'm like, who cares? So Mark Edwards of Devon, England, played a continuous 86-song set list for more than 2 days straight.
That's pretty wild.
Ah,
That
it
really
is.
is pretty wild.
That's some sore hands.
Yeah.
Shattering his previously held record of 41 hours of 4-string action.
Yeah, I wanted to say when I saw this, it was posted on our Discord, on the Guitar Souls page on there. I wanted to be like, oh, I could beat that. But then thinking about it, I did that Steve Vai 10-hour live stream, and when I got to the end of that 10 hours, it was very much like, right, I cannot wait to go and do something else. I'm tired because actually I didn't pee or anything for 10 hours. I literally just sat on this chair for 10 solid hours and practiced on a live stream. That was good fun, but 60 hours, Jesus.
No thanks.
Yeah.
But well done to him. So I'm going to skip right into it. Mark Edwards completed the daunting challenge between the hours of 10 a.m, August 29th and 10 a.m, August 31st, raising £3,900 for Children's Hospice South Wales in the process. The amount that went above and beyond his original £2,000 target, nearly double his money. Well done to him, big man. Absolutely tremendous.
Yeah, I'm trying to get... This makes me sound like a dick, but I'm trying to work out what the parameters for this were, because
If you go back up, there's a
keeps
wee
saying continuously,
Yep.
played continuously.
As the case with any world record attempt, there was a very strict set criteria that Edwards had to abide by, making the already now an impossible effort even more tricky. For starters, Edwards was required to play recognisable tunes lasting at least 2 minutes long to a reasonable standard throughout the recital, pause for no longer than 30 seconds between songs, and rest only 5 minutes for every hour completed. Additionally, the fearless 4-stringer was not allowed to jam or improvise, could not play the same piece of music within a 4-hour window, and had to have a continuous recording of the entire effort with at least 2 independent witnesses present at all times. Footage of the world record attempt has yet to surface, but we will be sure to share it when it does. No thanks. I do not want to sit for 60 hours and watch a guy play bass.
Yeah.
That will be as daunting as playing bass for 60 hours.
5 minutes every hour. At least... oh, no, sorry. Where was the 5 minutes?
Where?
Yeah, okay. Rest only 5 minutes for every hour. So the way that's been worded there, rest for 5 minutes for every hour that's been completed, that gives me the impression that you could probably bank your 5 minutes.
Maybe he went 4 hours and then went for a 20-minute nap. That's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's only reasonable considering he's awake for 60 fucking hours.
Or you go for 10 hours and then you've banked the best part of an hour in time.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, that's what I'm saying. If that's what you're doing, then fair enough.
so I'm not impressed by that. But actually, this kind of not being able to jam or improvise, can't play the same piece of music within a 4-hour window, is quite. That's a pain. That actually is a pain. That's why it has to be a fucking 86 song set list. So good effort, sir. Good effort. I won't be coming after you for that record anytime soon.
But well done.
Yeah, nice to see the dedication. So okay.
Since we're talking about records, man,
Yeah.
the record amount of money these things go for at the moment is fucking stupid. Bill Finnegan is taking offers on his #1 Klon Centaur, looking for the ultimate collector's item. And bring this image up as well. That's just out of
I know
total
what you're gonna
curiosity,
say.
right? Levi had never ever seen one of those miniature chromatic tune of the pass-through ones on a board before.
Never seen one of those before. And initially, when I saw that, I was like, "That's quite a cool idea. I'd be quite interested in that." But no. But then I thought to myself, actually, the TC Electronic Polytune minis are probably smaller than that in terms of width, because I think it's all well and good that that's small, but it's cut pedal height down, and as you can see from it next to the Klon Centaur, it doesn't save you any space on the board. It just means you've got a bit of empty space underneath it. What you're looking for when you're looking to pedal size down is to slim them down, and that looks wider than a Polytune mini, so not that impressed.
Anything to just be a contrarian. At this point, legendary pedal maker Bill Finnegan has revealed that he might consider selling his #1 serial Klon Centaur if he got the right offer. The pedal was built after the first batch, serialed as #2 to #17, as Finnegan knew he wanted to keep #1. It was still from a similar era of Klon, having only been built a week or so following the first batch.
So it's not the first one made. It's just the one that he arbitrarily put. No, the first one he made, he put serial number 002 on it. Yeah.
But this is the first #1 serial number. Aye.
But that seems like a crock, because he could have, I know he didn't, but he did #2 through #17. He could have continued on for 10 or 15 years and then gone, right, now I'm going to finally make #1. You know what I mean?
Aye, fair. Okay.
But yeah, it's similar.
Regardless, it doesn't matter. People are going to be, Klon Centaur.
And you can also look at it and say, well, he had 16 pedals of experience under his belt before he made #1, so #1 is probably a little bit better. I don't know.
I get you. Right, you want to scroll down a wee bit and read more?
Sorry.
It's cool. It's not here because I necessarily want to sell it, he explained in his recent update live stream, but I've got expensive house repairs in my future. And so, if anyone wants to get all crazy and make a play for #1, you can email me and we'll figure it out. His comments on #1 followed him recounting how GIHS's Josh Squat had jokingly tried to sell his #2 Klon, technically the first ever made, for $500,000.
Yeah, to me that one's worth more.
Because it's actually the first built?
Actually the first built. Because that's what a serial number tells you, isn't it? It's like when you buy #1, you're wanting the earliest example of it, the first one ever made.
Aye.
So the number on it is kind of like fucking hell. Gilmore has the 0001 Strat, right?
Right. Yep.
But it wasn't the first ever made Strat. It's an interesting piece of history because it's numbered 0001 and because of who owned it.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I think the first Strat that ever came off the line is probably worth more.
Aye, fair. So, I get you. It's more about the heritage then at that point, if you know the story behind them. What price #1 would fetch is unknown. However, given the very mythical nature of the pedal and the already high prices second-hand Klon units sell for, it probably have to be quite the offer. You can hear the exceptionally rare pedal in action in the archive stream below. You can't, sorry. And I don't want to anyway.
Yeah.
Elsewhere in the stream, Finnegan revealed the Klon KTR overdrives will soon be manufactured with a different clipping diode that the brand's supply of new old stock has begun to run dry. I'm not bothered about reading any more about that. I don't want to be selling the fucking Klon Centaurs that are already stupidly overpriced when you can buy a great copy from Wish and get away with it.
Yeah, I think...
As proven by Levi.
In terms of value on this, 35k. 30, and let me be clear, I don't think it's worth that. I think you might at a push get somebody to pay 35k for it.
Mm-hmm.
Dollars. $35,000.
See, the only other thing I think that would maybe give it that extra bump in value is that it's Bill Finnegan that's the actual original owner of it. It's not been sold from a run and then it's picked up in popularity by somebody else and been sold on. Yeah. You get what I mean?
I do, but that actually brings up an additional interesting level of interest around this subject of the value of this pedal. You could argue it's maybe even worth less than you'd imagine, because when you buy like the Strat that is 0001, that's cool because you've tracked it down and it's an instrument that has a story that's been out there and that has done things. Mm-hmm. This kind of makes this like this weird situation whereby any time a company manufactures something, they should manufacture the first one and just put it aside. Just put it somewhere in a warehouse. Keep it in a box, and then one day when the product's really popular and successful, we can capitalize on the value of it. We can sell it off for more than it's worth. Back when I was gigging in my youth, I wanted to have T-shirts made for the band that said like Hellcat Molly, we heard them first, right? And you run them as a limited run of like 50 T-shirts, but either hold 30 of them back so you can sell them on eBay, or just print more of them and sell them on eBay type thing. If there's too much possible options for market manipulation for stuff like this, and you know, Bill Finnegan is the perfect example of somebody that can manipulate the market on this. He makes the fucking product that he's selling for you way above retail price, and a retail price that is already too high anyway. So fuck this guy. Let's move on.
You quite upset there?
A little bit. 11 weirdest pieces of band merch from Loudwire.
I'm down for this.
I obviously only clicked this because Ozzy Osbourne's in it, and then I checked the article and looked at the first piece that's on here, number 11, and it's pretty wild. So
I can imagine.
Yeah, you can imagine how wild some band merch goes.
Well, I've seen some very interesting, when we've covered some interesting stories, such as the ghost butt plugs.
Yeah.
Is it Rammstein that had
Rammstein
dildos?
did a full set of dildos, yeah.
That's right.
Malmsteen, the Malmsteen signature Sharpie.
Have you seen that his pedals are going for silly money these days?
I have actually, yeah.
I nearly picked one up the other day just because it was on the marketplace, and I was like, you know what, that'd be quite cool. Like the wee the Dunlop overdrive, into the YGM overdrive.
Yeah.
But then I was looking online and they're going for like 150, 160 quid plus.
Yeah.
Like, for what? For a pedal that he himself slagged by saying they don't need batteries or a light on them.
Yeah.
Yours does. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Your fucking signature's got that?
Pedals is I mentioned this to Mike before the podcast, like I'm looking to buy a couple more pedals. I'm wanting to pursue the Eric Johnson tone a little bit more, you know. But then I don't want to do the, like I can absolutely tell you, don't say to me, well, just go and buy the Dunlop Eric Johnson fuzz. Because that motherfucker's like the old school fuzz face, like the big fucking circle that's just like 20 times bigger than it needs to be.
The Alberta style one.
If someone wants to take one of those and put it in a tiny box, then I'm happy. But yeah, I'm not buying a big motherfucker.
Is your Joey
like
Landreth's fuzz not do the job?
I've not tried it. It doesn't strike me as that sort of fuzz.
Right, okay.
I've always struggled with fuzz, to be honest.
I'm the same. Like, I find it really hard to get a usable sound from it. I think
Yeah.
there's a lot of either hiss or harsh muddiness.
Yeah.
Because I'm so used to like standard like valve distortion rather than clipping,
We're going to mention him later
and
on
that
the
kind
show.
of gain stacking sound as well.
I'm going to, on the note of fuzz, check this out.
Just as well there's not any dead air on here, Levi, eh?
I know.
Making sure that nobody's got a fucking clue what you're on about.
We can talk all the way through this. This is good. Yeah, check this out. Joey's working on a new fuzz type thing.
This sort of specialness about the Zong, that cool Doyle thing. You can really get the fuzz down and the volume up on it. And then it kind of gets that cool Doyle thing. I feel like. Oh, this is cool. This
has my
top.
attention. You have my
That
attention, Joey.
sounds ridiculous, doesn't it?
I just find, I think the thing with fuzz, and I could be wrong about this, is the players that use fuzz that I love all happen to be amazing players. Like, they have an amazing touch on the instrument, and I just don't think I have that. So I don't think I can make a fuzz sound like that, because I'll never be able to play the guitar like Joey Landreth does.
I think what you need to do is get your fuzz, fuck about your settings, do what he's talking about, more about volume than drive, and throw your plectrum away for 10 minutes and just use your fingers and go for there.
I use my fingers a lot of the time, to be fair.
So
what I found is I don't have any plectrums in the house, and if I do, I don't know where they are. So anytime I pick up a guitar in the house, my immediate thought is, fuck, where's a pick, and I just have to play fingerstyle, which annoys me, but it's just kind of the way. Yeah, I've got plenty of picks out here. I have the box of destruction over there full of picks. Could take picks in the house, but no.
Nah. Well, the other thing maybe is some really hot wound P90s, because I'd imagine that's what's in that Les Paul.
Yeah, it's a tough one. Tone
There's something
and fuzz
about them, isn't there? Like P90s have just get that fucking snarly bite when they're good.
Let's play on with these 11 bits of merch then. So,
yes.
Here we go.
Wow.
Number 11.
Weezer, realistic fake mustache.
What? I'll bring these up for people as we go through them. So
What?
I thought they were turds in a bag.
So did I.
Yeah.
Especially when it said human there. I'm like, this has got to say human excrement or something, man. Please don't.
Yeah.
But there's plenty of bands that wouldn't surprise me if they did that. The Motley Crue Dr. Feelgood Stethoscope.
Pretty wild. Limited edition 30th anniversary Dr. Feelgood stethoscope. Fucking hell.
Weird. The next on the list is the one that was in the thumbnail, which is a Weird Al Chia Pet.
I mean, what is this?
It's a wee head that looks like Weird Al that you grow plants out of.
Bizarre.
Why?
It's disappointing they haven't put prices for any of these.
I'm not, because I would never want to be tempted to buy anything. That's quite good. An
Yeah.
Aussie bat plushie with a detachable head.
I don't think that's a weird bit of merchandise under any
No,
stretch
that's-
of the imagination.
That's really clever fucking marketing.
Yeah.
Really clever.
Yeah. $40.
That moment that he's infamous for. Not
Yeah.
just famous, but infamous.
Yeah, that's
Turned
definitely...
into a cute piece of merchandise.
I can get on board with that.
Metallica Vulturous Silver Ring.
Did I miss the image?
$300.
Oh, wow.
100% silver. And represents a song that's only been performed live by the band.
What the fuck has that got to
Once.
do with anything? Wow.
That's weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
Why? Cannibal Corpse Stalker Gloves. We're not sure why you would ever need stalker gloves, but here they are, courtesy of Cannibal
What the
Corpse.
fuck are stalker gloves?
I have no idea.
They look to me. They just look like gardening gloves, right? The ones that with like like a regular mesh glove that's then had the top part of the hand part dipped in latex. That's all that you can see it around the edges. Yeah.
Aye, pretty much.
So are they called stalker gloves?
They'd probably just be called gardening gloves.
Yeah.
No.
Just wouldn't do so well for Cannibal Corpse to market them as gardening gloves. Cannibal Corpse gardening gloves.
They're kind of like on both sides of the spectrum of insanity as a band. You've got Corpse Grinder, who's like the scariest frontman ever, but known as just this big softy dad that goes about while they're in tour winning plushies for his kids. And then you've got Pat O'Brien, the guitarist, who went to jail for harvesting weapons, a knife, fire charges, and meth. Kind of duplicitous band.
Yeah. This isn't weird.
This is not for the band that's selling it. AC/DC Power Up luggage. $200 for a suitcase that's got the AC/DC Thunder logo on it, or Lightning, sorry. Nah.
No, I don't. I wouldn't be interested in it, but I don't think it's a weird piece of merchandise.
Bring Me the Horizon Psycho Juice. A vegan barbecue sauce.
Again, I think a lot of bands have done things like this.
Oh,
I obviously take issue with them because I always consider it to be very off-brand, for like off missing the point. Bumblefoot has hot sauces. Zakk Wylde has done hot sauces. I'm sure Slayer maybe. Of course, Slayer have done a hot sauce.
Zakk Wylde also did the Valhalla Java coffee stuff as well. If you
Still
remember.
pushes that.
Yeah.
Still going with that.
No, listen, it's fucking money, isn't it?
Yeah.
But at least he uses his own product. He makes it very obvious that he's into it.
Yeah.
Metallica Monopoly.
Don't think that's weird in the slightest.
No.
But you can put Monopoly on anything, you know.
Go to Jail is actually just lose the Napster case. Wah, wah. So it includes, the tokens are the Lady Justice, a death magnetic coffin, Ride the Lightning electric chair, Master of Puppets cross, a metal up your ass toilet, and Scary Guy.
If you look really closely, this is actually quite interesting. Like, if you look really closely, you see
The diecast.
see the Lady Justice. Like, there's no base on it.
Right.
See what I did there?
Oh, that took me a wee minute to get, but you know what? Touche, man. Touche.
Okay, this is dumb.
Oh man, this is up there with like kind of Kiss level, isn't
Yeah.
it? So there is a Aussie Rules Grill Tools, which is essentially a brand that you put the words Aussie Rules onto whatever you're cooking. Some utensils like a spatula.
I do quite enjoy that. Like if you gave me a steak with Aussie Rules burned into the top of it, I'm gonna.
Ah, you are, but that's because you're up there in like the mega fan side of things.
Definitely mega Aussie.
Let's keep going, because I think what should be number one on here is just Joe Bonamassa's Everything.
Yeah.
Considering how big that fucking page is.
But this is the number one.
The Kiss Viewfinder. Last but not least, on the 11 pieces of weird Rockstar merch is a major throwback. A viewfinder. The collectible Alive viewfinder will bring you back to 1975 to 1976 Alive tour. We can't remember the last time we played with one of these, and this one from Kiss has 3 reels and is $75.
Now, I guess the interesting thing about this is, and it won't be the case, but the only way this would be viable for Kiss is if this was some sort of proprietary viewfinder that takes a different size view reel. Because I guess you'd struggle to get hold of the. Basically, you are paying $75 there just for the 3 reels, because the viewfinder's a viewfinder. If you can get your hands on those reels, you can put it in any viewfinder
Entirely.
So yeah, that's kind of dumb. But viewfinders, yeah, bring back memories. Yeah.
Oh, I don't miss them.
Yeah, nothing in there that I think was particularly
Nah, it's all
egregious.
pretty silly. But
Oh
like,
no,
not
I
in a
guess
good way.
the Cannibal Corpse gloves and the Metallica ring, from marketing it from a perspective of, well, it represents a song that we've only played live once. So fucking what?
But I think there's weirder merch than that out there, man. Like,
Yeah.
Flesh God Apocalypse, Italian, kind of symphonic brutal death metal band. They had their own pasta, or have their own pasta. Really lean into the Italian side there. What was the other one that was in my brain there? It was something else that was just fucking... Dying Fetus, their last album was called Wrong One to Fuck With, and the album cover was like an alley in a hand with a knife, and they released knives with Wrong One to Fuck With printed on them to go with the fucking pre-orders.
Nice.
I think that's like an egregious piece of merchandise. It's just bizarre.
Can you think of where would you go if you wanted to have weird things like that manufactured? And I say weird, we're wanting to...
AliExpress.
I'm wanting to get some fans manufactured for Melissa.
Mm-hmm.
Some branded fans with just things like Juicy and Queen and Whore and things like that on them.
Nice.
And I just don't know where you'd go to... It's easy to, you want T-shirts, you know where you go for that, but weird things like that.
There's a lot of...
Matchbooks and things like that.
Yeah.
Where the fuck do you go for stuff like that?
There's a lot of people that do those kind of merch pieces, but not necessarily just for bands, so they'll do all sorts of memorabilia.
Right.
Failing that, the best bet's probably having a look on like AliExpress or like Banggood or whatever, and finding like vendors that do custom lighters or whatever, and just reaching out and saying, look, I want to buy a host of X, Y, and Z.
Right,
Can you help me fulfill that? And here's the image that I'm looking for all of them.
Okay.
Because that would be probably the best way for you to get the best price from some sort of wholesaler. I would think that would be your best bet.
Yeah, but you're talking AliExpress, Wish type stuff. You're talking about cheap Chinese imports, and you pay for it, turn up low quality and stuff that you can't. But
That's what you're
potentially
asking
worth
for.
a punt.
The other option you've got is having a wee look on Etsy. There's a lot of businesses that are based in the UK
but
that
then-
advertise on Etsy. Stop making problems when I'm giving you solutions, Levi.
Well, I'm not talking talking one off. It's not for
No,
the
no, I
stuff
get
for
you.
her to use on stage. It's merch.
I get
Because
you.
the merch stand last night, we had some T-shirts, but limited sizes because the shirts are running low, and we had more vinyl than you could shake a stick at. But that's it, and you need more. You need more than that.
The more diverse your portfolio is when it comes to merch, the more chance you've got of someone just being like, cool, if you're covering price brackets from a couple of quid from badges or pins or fucking whatever, to like daft trinkets like you're like having a wee hand fan or whatever, up to T-shirts and clothing, and then obviously actual albums and whatever else.
Honestly, I have to say, Melissa got a new fan for these runner gigs for the jazz bar. She knew was going to be particularly hot, and I was like, "Is that really going to make that much of a difference?" Fuck me, what a great idea!
Like a hand fan?
Yeah, hand fan.
Oh, 100%, man.
And she got a big one that when she holds it goes most of the way up her forearm, so it's a big fan. And there were points where I was standing like near her when she was on the stage, and I was getting a good breeze off of it in the audience, and I'm like, that is if everybody here right now had a hand fan, it wouldn't be that hot in here.
Just be a tornado inside the building.
Yeah. Right, let's continue on. So Metallica respond to 1-star Amazon reviews of the Black Album. And I love this quote. I threw it off a bridge and watched a truck smash.
I don't really know how to feel about this, because even though I've not read it, I don't care what their opinion is. You've made all the money you need to make.
Yeah.
But then again, it's Jimmy Kimmel, so it's probably the same as what they do when they're like people read mean tweets about themselves.
Yes.
And nothing spells bigger corporate whores than being on fucking the biggest rock band in the world being on the biggest fucking telly show in America, or one of the biggest TV shows in America for fucking family watching.
I like the fact that, you know, when I prepped all these stories, Mike didn't interrupt and say, nah, Vito, I don't want to talk about this. Fuck these guys.
I'm not talking about vetoing them. I'm giving you my
Sure,
opinion
sure.
on it. Don't worry. We can't imagine James Hetfield spends much time reading listeners' reviews of his albums with Metallica, but he made an exception for the band's appearance on Jimmy Kimmel Live by reading out 1-star reviews of their 1991 classic, The Black Album, with hilarious results. Oh, okay, I'm sure.
Yeah, so I am, in fact...
Bummy. You're going to veto it?
I'm going to veto it, right? Because I actually misinterpreted the point of this. I know the remastered Black Album has just come out, and the Covers album has come out, etc.
Blacklist.
So I had hoped that the Blacklist was being panned on Amazon, and they were responding to that.
To actual...
Yeah. This isn't...
It's just 4 videos linked by Music Radar to watch of segments from Jimmy Kimmel.
This is lazy journalism reporting on lazy content. And we are now being even lazier content creators by telling you about it. So I'm going to cease telling you about it.
Yes, fuck Metallica.
Yeah.
Thanks. I'm glad you see my point. This one was more just for a bit of a laugh.
Yes.
So we've a couple of times recently we've been reading from stereogum.com because it's almost like they're up there, not quite being like the scummy journalists, but it's a lot more kind of, I don't know, like fun content in it, like almost kind of Schadenfreude.
Yeah.
Like, I check this, fuck it, the state of this out. So basically, there was a festival called Elements EDM Festival, and their headline is Elements EDM Festival is being called this year's Firefest. This was 6 days ago or so. It was wrote on Stereogum. I'll just read through it with you. So, music festivals can be a lucrative enterprise, but they're also the kind of thing that requires planning and organisation on a massive scale. When a festival goes wrong, it can make for deep, overwhelming frustration on the part of those who paid for tickets and delicious Schadenfreude. Picked the perfect word there, didn't I?
Yeah.
For those of us who didn't. In the recent past, 2017's Fire Festival remains the gold standard for Hell World scamfests. This past weekend, though, Elements, an EDM festival in Pennsylvania, took a run at the Crown. Over Labour Day weekend, the Elements Festival brought DJs like Diplo, Bonobo, Grizz and Chris Lake to Wayne County, Pennsylvania. Unlike the Firefest, Elements actually happened. Like Firefest, though, Elements ended with a whole lot of disgruntled customers finding themselves in nasty and possibly unsafe situations and then complaining about those situations online. The ultimate negative PR, and kind of deserved when it happens. So EDM.com reports that many ticket holders showed up to the Elements Festival Element Festival grounds and found crippling logistical issues and an alarming lack of organisation. While the festival itself was starting, a Facebook group called Elements Shit Show 2021 gained more than 1,000 followers. The group is full of horror stories from people who claim that they experienced hours-long waits for parking and then even longer lines for the shuttles that were supposed to take them into the festival, with festival staff utterly baffled about where people were supposed to go. Some quotes from those stories, and some of these are fucking tremendous. Those of us that made it out of there safe, uninjured, and with any scrap of our sanity or dignity, we got lucky. We waited from about 5 p.m. till 2 a.m. in that line with no water, food or bathrooms to finally get on the shuttle. I was beyond exhausted and in pain from standing and dragging everything.
At that, I want to jump on that one, right? 5 p.m. to 2 a.m. That is 9 hours?
Mm-hmm.
I feel... I can't believe that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like...
I can. I've seen people do it for gigs in venues. You're talking about a festival where people have paid money for a big ticket and put all their money into, like, probably like a digital wristband for their fucking money and all that.
But when you do that for a gig, you are going to have access to water and food and bathrooms because you can have someone hold your place in line and you just nip across the road to a shop, like, because you're not isolated.
I get the feeling that this was probably quite an isolated place and that there was nothing on site.
Yeah, so
except maybe in the arena.
Mate, after 4 hours of that and not knowing how much longer it was going to be, there's like I'm leaving now and I'm contacting my credit card company because for something, a big purchase like this, put it on a fucking credit card so your purchases are protected.
Wait to the next
go on, carry on.
quote and you'll maybe get a bit more of a
Yeah.
feel of how badly organised it was.
I read the whole article.
Oh, you have? Sorry, right. So, since the festival was prohibiting fires, propane grills or camping stove into the festival, food vendors started running out of food by Friday evening. Since they were also prohibiting anyone to bring more than 2 gallons of sealed water into the grounds, the lines at the water refill stations stayed borderline inaccessible the whole weekend.
Like McDonald's in Wishaw.
Aye, very much so. Like I said earlier on, like 2 billion customers in one window. On top of literally everything we all went through, let's take a moment to talk about the staff riding around on their golf carts with empty wagons and trailers behind it, literally laughing at everyone struggling, taking pictures of us and saying, "Ha, good luck, guys." That's pretty fucking bad, isn't it? Anyone else almost get run over by a golf cart this weekend? Someone got stuck under the slide in the lake and couldn't get out and thought he was going to die. Never seen more shit anywhere. Literally someone pooped next to my car, almost stepped in it leaving. Also, people kept shitting on all the toilet seats like it was an activity. As EDM.com points out, another festival patron writes, I talked to the camp security and they mentioned that a group of tents had actually set up over a sewage drain and some people were climbing over barbed wire fences to go to the bathroom because the porta potties were abhorrent. Sounds like a logistical fucking nightmare.
Yeah, I can't imagine how hellishly difficult it is to organise a festival.
Mm-hmm.
There is an update to this that we'll read in a second. I have heard stories, though, of... And it's not even stories. I think it's pretty well known that, like, young people, students, they love working festivals, you know, because it's an opportunity to be able to go to a festival.
Done it myself.
Yeah, so you have, you know, organisers hiring in tons and tons and tons and tons of inexperienced people that don't really know what's going on, and there's no real training or anything. So you go to these events, you look at tons of young people that work there, looking around fucking dazed because they have no idea what to do. And it, you know, it's just like, I think that businesses take advantage of humans' need to just sort of make the best out of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the event is here, the event has happened, you are here, you're just going to make it work. You know, you'll do what you need to do. You'll climb over barbed wire fences to take a shite.
Aye. Grim. I have a personal experience of what you're talking about, that taking young people on and essentially putting them in positions of responsibility that they absolutely cannot handle. Me personally, I had a family, the dad especially, shouting at me when I did a festival at Loudon Castle, which used to be a fun fair, it's now gone, or a theme park even. Years ago it was called Retrofest, and it was like basically like all older bands and like cover bands, the older guys and stuff as well. More like a kind of middle-aged kind of festival style. They did one in Strathclyde Park. It was great. It was really busy. It was really well organised. Everyone seemed to be alright, apart from the fact that it was all middle-agers who couldn't handle their drink and that. Genuinely. But at this one
We'll be there soon.
Yep, at this one in Loudon Castle, I was put on one of the gates to let people in. And this guy came up and he was fucking livid and basically explained to me that they had been sold a pitch to put his caravan. They'd loaded the caravan up, obviously, with food and stuff for the weekend, took the car down there. Part of the load, or part of their pitch, was that they would get water and electricity for every pitch, same as you would do if you were going camping. Yeah. So all he was expecting is when he pulled up, he would have the link for his water and then like somewhere to hook his fucking caravan into. Yeah. They had arranged none of that. And pretty much every family on the campsite was like, we've got kids with us and we've got food that is now going off because this
that's wild.
Fucking camp hasn't done their job. It needs resolved. And there's me standing at the back gate, like 17, basically been told check tickets.
Yeah, and there is no resolving that situation.
No, there's not.
It's like, what do you want me to do?
Basically, all I could say to the guy was like, I'm really sorry that's happened, man. And all I can say is I didn't know that was the situation for anybody. I'm quite disgusted for you. I'll radio somebody down and I'll hope they can help you. But I'm afraid you're asking the wrong person. It's not that I don't want to help you. It's that I am literally here to check tickets. That's my job and that's it. Yeah. So I can totally feel where you're coming at, but it's young workers basically being taken advantage of. Yeah. You don't really know what you're getting into when you do these kind of stewarding or security roles. I've had a few fun run-ins. Anyway.
Want to read the update?
Yes. So the Elements team has shared a statement addressing the chaos at their festival last weekend. I don't know whether to read this in a funny voice or no. We want to thank all of our fans, artists, and the community who attended Elements Music and Arts Festival 2021. Notwithstanding a number of issues related to the impact of Hurricane Ida, we persevered and shared many blissful moments of music and connection. Written by a hippie. We recognise that some of you endured extraordinary wait times and discomfort getting into the festival on Friday. We apologise for these logistical issues and the disappointments they caused. There was a significant damage to our parking lots from Hurricane Ida, which led to major delays into the festival. More delays were caused by precautions developed as a result of the hurricane. We were forced to change the location of the parking lots and check-in spaces due to remaining flooding issues on Friday. The aftermath of the hurricane and the long-lasting repercussions of COVID-19 exacerbated common festival issues, including some long food and water lines and restroom cleanliness. We want all attendees on site to have the best experience of all the time, and we will work hard to improve. We throw this festival because we love our community, and we are heartbroken and humbled that some of you are unhappy with our experience. Like many other events over the past year and a half, there was the option of cancelling at the last minute. However, we modified our plans as the damage was assessed and decided to do our best to welcome 6,800 fans and over 100 artists safely in the space. Everyone on our Independent Elements team pours their heart and soul into our events, and no one is more disappointed in what happened on Friday more than we are. We are a community first, and like any community or family, when issues arise, it's important to listen and learn so we can grow together. Your voices matter to us. We've set up a dedicated email address at elements2021@elementsfest.us where we welcome your comments and will respond to every email we receive.
Should we check that? Should we send them a wee email?
Ah, be a good laugh. We'll respond to everyone, including emails already sent, but please know it will take a little time. We hope that everyone who feels that our festival did not meet their expectations will email us first and try to work with us to resolve any outstanding issues. Finally, we apologise to everyone who did not have the best experience possible. For all who attended, we hope you experienced magical moments over the 3 days. As a company and a community, we want to learn and grow from this. We are committed to delivering the absolute best Elements of all time in 2022. With love and respect for each and every one of you, Team Elements.
Oofed.
This is the South Park episode when they're talking about the BP oil spill, where it's just the CEO sitting with his legs crossed. We're sorry.
Yeah.
We're sorry. That, oh man. Not a single bit of actual responsibility taken, just, it was hard for us to.
Yeah.
We'll get it right next time, but
yeah.
you've already just made hundreds of money off of people not getting what they paid for, fuck you.
Yeah, initially it was working for me, you know, when they talked about the hurricane and like we had to move our parking things, but you should have assessed it and said we can't. It's not viable. They literally said we had the option to cancel, but we just decided not to.
No, they considered cancelling and they went, do we want to make money or do we want to have to give money back?
Yeah. Exactly.
Well, we could just make money and then we'll not be too worried because people will still come back at some point, versus if it doesn't happen, then it'll just be another event that people never made it to.
Yeah, you'll notice there's no offer of refunds to
not at all.
Anything like that.
That's it. Email us and we'll email you back.
Yeah.
Right, I had a really terrible time. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, I had to shit in a field because your toilets were overflowing with shit. Like, send them an email saying that. What are they going to say back?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can't tell us that your staff and everyone that is involved really cares about everything. Not enough to clean up the jobbies everywhere. You know, like, dreadful. Fuck these guys.
I caught pink eye at your festival. What you got to do about it?
Yeah. Let's move on to the main story of the show today.
Yes.
We have been talking about like joking about Mike getting a signature Ormsby, which I still think is a good business move.
I don't know as much, but it's a pipe dream.
Yeah,
we'll call it that. Pipe dream.
And in the Discord, somebody posted a link to an Ultimate Guitar article talking about 6 guitarists who need a signature guitar in 2022, and commenting that Mike narrowly missed the list. I know, tragic. Yeah, so we're going to look at who these 6 signature artists are listed on Ultimate Guitar. And it's worth pointing out, you know, Ultimate Guitar, I think often the articles tend to be written by users, right? You know?
Yeah, it's very much a community space.
So this is really just one man's opinion. This is Matt Dunn's opinion. Yeah, I've already looked at them. There's you know, it's not the best, not the worst. We are going to tell you some of the artists that we think should have signature guitars that don't, and then we are going to talk about Alexi Laiho having a new run of signature guitars despite being dead. So, right, 6 artists who need a signature guitar in 2022. Number 1.
Sister Rosetta Tharp, sorry. A Gibson SG.
She was a great player and an important part of guitar and music history.
Yep.
There is no denying this. She's relatively or massively unknown. You can't give a signature guitar to somebody who's dead.
Yeah, there's not really any way to do a posthumous signature that doesn't scream, let us make money from someone we can't give money to.
Yeah. Unless she can sign off on it, you can't give them a signature guitar. And I think the other thing to consider is if they were just playing a stock guitar, and as far as I'm aware, she just played a stock Gibson SG.
3-humbucker vibrola trem.
Yeah.
Aye.
There's no signature opportunity here. I do think she deserves a lot more attention and credit because an important part of music history, as I say. But yeah, I can't get on board with deserving a signature guitar. Okay, number 2 on the list.
Mick Mars.
Modified Fender Strat.
Did Mick Mars not have a signature at one point?
I don't know on that one. Let's have a look.
I don't get why they're asking or talking about these people getting signature guitars in 2022. No disrespect to him. Mick Mars is
his band doesn't
far
exist anymore.
from relevant.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like, does Mick Mars have a signature guitar?
No.
No. He used a 72 custom Les Paul Gibson for years, but he plays a super strat of some kind.
It's hard to tell, isn't it? Like,
Aye.
I think the answer is probably no.
I don't think there's any associated brands. I can't think of anyone. There we go. Mars in his early career used guitars that were popular at the time. Kramer, other super strats, occasionally used a Gibson Les Paul, sometimes a BC Rich. However, according to an interview published in September 2009, Mars's main stage guitars for that tour were Fender Stratocasters with an HSH humbucker single coil humbucker configuration. He frequently used a Stratocaster modified from components of 1963, 64 and 65 models with JM Rolf pickups and a licensed Floyd Rose bridge system. Just a super strat then, right?
Yeah.
It'd be easy to give him a super strat, to be honest. But why are we giving him a signature?
Yeah, I love Motley Crue. I don't really rate Mick Mars, though. I think Motley Crue are a band that are clearly better than the sum of their parts. Much respect to Mick, but no signature guitar for Mick. Okay, next on the list.
Sorry, I'm being really ignorant here. Ry Cooder.
Ry Cooder is great, and his do you know the Cudacaster? Well, not a signature guitar.
He had a crazy signature, did he not? Some mad thing that was built, and it was like extended scale on the low 3 strings. We had a book about the guitars. I don't remember what the actual brand was.
He plays this sort of thing a lot, which has like a pedal steel pickup in the bridge,
right?
Which is super cool.
That is cool, man.
And yeah, original heavy. This is his original heavily modified Cudacaster.
Cool guitar, man. I like the colour of it and I like the matching headstock.
Yeah.
It's a big 10 out of 10 for me. However, anybody that would retrofit a Bigsby is a lunatic. Well, and that's just fact.
I think it's fair to say Ry Cooder is a lunatic. A great player that, again, probably deserves more attention. I can actually maybe get on board with Ry on this list, actually, though, so I'll give him that.
There is a really crazy Ry Cooder signature guitar.
Is there?
There is. I can't remember who the brand were that made it. I'm going to quickly Google it while you're going through this. Sorry to take us on a bit of a tangent. I don't remember who it was that made them either. We had this really weird book about a specific brand that made all these weird fucking guitars, and they made a crazy one for Ry Cooder, and it had like half a Floyd Rose on it.
That sounds insane.
It was really madly made. The guy also at one point, whoever it is, the builder, I can't remember his name, he made another guitar that was like, he had these challenges where he'd be like, I'm just going to try and make a guitar that's out of all sorts of parts, but I'm going to do it within 24 hours. So he's only allowed 24 hours to build this guitar.
To be fair, that sounds less like a signature guitar that he had, and more like a custom guitar that
it was made for him.
I'm going to just blast through the rest of the list while you're having a look. So Neil Young, no, can't get on board with that. The Edge, it surprises me that he hasn't had a signature guitar. Yeah, definitely surprises me that he hasn't had a signature guitar. But again,
me too. But like,
no, I think the Edge, when it comes to signatures, it's signature sounds rather than signature guitars.
Right, just
what have you found?
Something completely off topic, but I am also absolutely loving this. What is that brand name?
That's Kunt's guitars. Fantastic.
That's on Toman, and it's $4,500. Kunt's guitars. It's a real thing. Oh my god. Sorry to take us completely off, but this is my signature because I am a cunt. Look at this. I really like the headstock, actually.
Oh, it doesn't say Kunt's on the headstock.
No, it doesn't.
So.
I wonder why.
Yeah. Well, they've still gone with it for their fucking brand
I
name.
know. Like, what the fuck? I love it though. That's absolutely banging. Where does it say cunts on it? But
And
that's the
they've
real
put
question.
Dave, is this Dave Kuning? I don't know who this is. Who's Dave Kuning? The Killer's guitarist? Fuck off. What an embarrassing list.
It's a bit an interesting one, innit? I mean, I can kind of get why you would say, why does he not get a signature guitar? They are one of the biggest selling artists on earth.
Are they? The Killers?
Mr. Brightside has been in the charts for years, like years. Maybe just the UK charts, but they've done very well for themselves as a band.
Okay.
But it's the same idea as saying then, what's Maroon 5's guitarist name? Has he got a signature?
James Valentine, yes, he does.
He does?
Signature, yeah, I think he has 4 or 5 signature guitars with any ball.
Well then, fair enough. You know what I mean? That's me tell.
Line them up, I'll knock them out of the park.
So the only place this guitar says cunts is in the sound hole, sadly.
Okay, so...
It's got cunts in the hole.
Nice. So talking about... it's got cunts in its cunt hole. So talking about guitar players, when I asked you of an artist that you thought doesn't have a signature guitar but deserves one, you said...
I said the San, funnily enough.
Yeah.
Only
I'll bring
because
it up. We've talked about it before.
I know. I don't give a fuck about him having a guitar. What I give a fuck about is the guitar that Kendo pointed out and me having the ultimate gas for it.
That you wanted, access to.
I want more than access to, man. I want fucking conjugal visits with that bad boy. Look at it. Oh, just look at it. There is nothing about that isn't just beautiful. The colour, the colour choices, the hardware choice, that wee bridge, it's great. I love the
There are
Iceman
no
shape.
choices. No choices have been made on this. Tosin Abasi released his signature, and Isan has clearly gone, I like that. Can you do that for me on an Iceman?
Good. Look at it, but
Yeah.
because it totally smashes Tosin Abasi's guitar out the window. That look at it, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Nothing about that isn't absolutely banging.
It's a nice guitar. I will give you that. So I hadn't really considered this when we were talking about it before the show. But you're essentially saying this for selfish reasons. You're saying this because you want one.
1,000,000%. I'm not
Okay.
saying it because the San deserves one.
Okay.
I'm saying it's we deserve to buy that guitar because the San's got the coolest custom I've ever seen,
Yeah.
and I want one.
You had suggested potentially Ron Jarzombek.
Yes. But that's not going to work because he kind of does have signature guitars in the sense that he builds his own.
His trademark is building all of his own guitars.
Yeah.
When I thought about this
So-
long and hard, I thought my pal Charlie from Haken deserves one because I think Haken are a big deal. I think they're a really popular, big deal. I think Charlie deserves a signature guitar. It's probably a little bit more viable than Richard's signature guitar because he plays like fan fret, true temperament stuff. Would be really expensive, but I think I would also imagine that Richard is probably the better known guitar player in Haken. I'm not sure how that really works because I'm not really on that scene anymore. But yeah, I would absolutely throw a bone to Charlie because he's great. I also listed Joey Landreth.
You did list Joey Landreth?
He's
I'm
one
not
of
being
my-
ignorant. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to find this other guitar I was telling you about.
Mate, I've looked this. You're not going to find it.
We'll see.
Look after the show and send me a picture of it and we'll put it in because otherwise you're not going to be here for the rest of the show.
I am here. Don't be rude.
Joey Landreth, definitely. That's a weird one because like because they played in the same band for a long time together. Joey Landreth and Ariel Posenor is going to be inextricably linked. But yeah, in terms of the guitars that they put, actually, do you know? Have you seen Ariel Posen's Mule Resonator guitar, mate?
Right up your street, I'm guessing. The Posencaster.
This is super cool. When it eventually, it is. So it's it is a aluminium resonator
Mm-hmm.
guitar. I'm sure it's aluminium.
It looks like
we
where the
could-
paint's rubbed off, it's metal.
Yeah, it's metal. I can tell you that. I'm sure it's aluminium, and it's Stratocaster shaped, but has that kind of Telecaster square edges on all the corners of it.
Right, okay, like a slab top kind of thing?
Yeah,
Aye.
yeah. So I think that's a really, really fucking cool guitar. But you know, if you wanted one of those, you could just go to Mule and have them build you one. So that's totally achievable. For me, the reason I say Joey is because he has those. He plays some really beautiful like gold top Les Paul style things, which I'd love one of those. And the other artist that I listed was Wayne Krantz. He doesn't have a signature model. I don't think he's ever had a signature model. He played Suhr guitars. He played Fender Strats, like 70s Strats. And he played James Tyler guitars for a long time. I'm not sure what he's playing these days. He might have gone back to the Suhr. Do you remember what I did to the headstock on my Suhr Telecaster?
Taped over
The
it.
gaffer tape, yeah.
Was that not because of him?
It was, yeah.
Because I remember watching a video with you and I think it had taped over the headstock. And was it not something basically like, if you're not going to pay me, then I'm not going to promote your brand?
No, it wasn't, because he taped over like this, like
Right. To show off the Tyler bit?
to hide. So the way the Tyler headstock looks without that is the
Right.
name is just written like loads and loads of times across the fretboard,
It's hiding the ugly headstock.
and it's the dumbest headstock that's ever happened.
Yep, every time I've saw them in like guitar and stuff, I've just wanted to smash them off the wall. Which is a bit of a shame. I don't mean that as in like they're invaluable, but are
I guess
not
so.
valuable. But I just absolutely would not have one. The headstock
No.
is ganting, isn't it?
Yeah, it's unacceptably bad. So he would just gaffer tape over most of the Tyler logo, which is kind of funny. So that was it for me. Wayne Krantz, Joey Landreth, and Charlie Griffiths from Haken is who I would throw signature guitars to. I think they all deserving of signature guitars.
Definitely. I'm going to find this guitar another time because there's no chance I can
You're
find it.
definitely not. I've looked.
See, when I find it, you're going to be upset.
No. I
Speaking-
won't. I'll be very pleased. But go on.
Speaking of upset, I'm not
Yeah.
very pleased about this. I don't know about you. ESP Guitars launches 5 new signature guitars for the late Alexi Laiho. Before we read any more, why?
Well, these will. There's he'll still be under contract. Contract won't expire on death, and I'd be very surprised. I've not read this, obviously. I have seen ESP sort of responding to people giving them shade on social media by saying, "Have you actually looked into what the guitars are?" I think it's entirely possible. Guitars aren't designed, manufactured like that. These were probably in design before he died. So it's entirely possible that he did, sign off on these. But let's have a look.
But I get that's fine. They've been designed for the ground up by him, but really, like, I don't know. It just leaves a bit of sour taste in my mouth when things have been sold posthumously like this, especially when it's something that like they didn't actually play.
But if he
Not saying that he wouldn't have played one
Sure.
if he was alive.
If
but
he did design this from the ground up, obviously not, because there's the Randy Rhoads,
whatever, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like I wasn't annoyed by the Dimebag Razorback, which I never got to play one. He never played
Nah.
one, as far as I'm aware.
The closest you'll see him play is the Sharp Trendkill guitar,
Yeah.
which is a Washburn.
Go on, give us a read.
ESP Guitars will be launching 5 new signature guitars for the late Children of Bodom guitarist singer Alexi Laiho. The Alexi Ripped and Alexi Hexed will arrive in LTD and ESP custom shop versions, and the former will also receive an E2 edition. The guitars began development with input from Laiho over a year before his passing. The Finnish musician died at the age of 41 in January 2021. He was very excited about the new model, says Tony Rouser, ESP's Director of Artist Relations, in a statement. The guitars are first additions to the guitarist signature CDs since 2013. The Alexi Ripped is the first of the guitar's signature models to feature more than one pickup, with an EMG HZ FH2 humbucker in the bridge and an EMG HZ S2 single coil on the neck. It comes in a purple fade satin finish with painted black satin ripped pinstripes. The guitar is a neck-through design with an alder body, U-shaped maple neck, and an ebony fretboard that's scalped from the 19th to the 24th frets. The E2 and ESP custom shop versions sport largely the same features, though the latter is handcrafted. There are Goto locking tuners, ESP strap locks, a Floyd Rose original bridge, and an ESP MM04 active boost switch. Meanwhile, the LTD version sports Grover tuners, a Floyd Rose 1000 bridge, and a 3-way pickup selector. It's built at ESP's factory in Japan.
So I'll bring this up for people.
Mm-hmm. So this is the hexed. No, it's the ripped, sorry.
Yeah, this is a ripped. We'll come back to the hexed.
Matching headstock in the ESP, I'll give them bonus points for that. Matching headstock in the E2, I'll give them bonus points in that. Just the angle that's funny, innit?
Yeah, the angle's different.
Not by far. And the LTD's got a matching headstock and a bit more of a fade on it. See, of the 3 pictures, I actually think the LTD looks best.
Yeah.
But I think it's the angle.
It's 100% the angle. That's actually shoddy photo. It's really these should be hung, and so you can see them from the exact same angle in the same lighting.
Mm-hmm.
So shoddy photo work there, guys. Okay, and then we've got the hex.
Yes, driven by a single EMG HZ FH2. What is manufacturers just making names of things stupid? Passive humbucker, the Alexi Hex to say to deliver excellent presence and clarity with a punchy response. This model This model also features an alder body, 3-piece maple neck, and a partially scalloped ebony fretboard. The LTD edition features Grover tuners and a double locking Floyd Rose 1000 bridge, while the ESP custom shop version is Kodo locking tuners, ESP strap locks, a Floyd Rose original bridge, and the brand's MMO4 active boost switch. It comes in a purple fade finish with light purple pinstripes and matching back and sides.
Yeah, I've deliberately avoided you seeing it. I don't know if you've seen it. I've not seen it either.
No.
But I wanted to hold off, so... Okay.
Not my cuppa.
Not my cuppa. There it is for people. I think the purple pinstripes are nicer than on the previous model.
Mm-hmm. That picture is much better than the last one. Yet again, the LTD looks better than the ESP, but I think it's the angle because the ESP picture makes it look washed out. The LTD makes it look like they've actually went to the effort of going, we want a dark purple with a contrast and kind of lilac.
Yeah, I'd even go as far as saying this one looks like it's been edited in post. This one looks like it's had the contrast put up. This one looks a lot more how you imagine the guitar would actually look in the room.
I think it could be. I think it's maybe the angle with the light boxes and stuff, or whatever they're using for lighting it up. But really strange that the pictures that come from ESP would make the more expensive ones look cheap and the cheaper ones look better.
What is it? Is it the ripped?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we've got prices.
No, it wasn't the ripped. Sorry, it's the hexed.
I'm going to go through each of them. So the ESP ripped, the LTD ESP LTD comes in at £1,700.
It's made in the factory in Japan, to be fair.
Yeah.
So
the E2 comes in at £2,560.
Yeah.
And the other one was a custom shop, right?
It was. Yep. There we go. Custom shop.
I think it's about $6,000.
Surely not be as much as that.
Yeah, I remember people talking about the prices
for realsies.
Yeah.
Top link ESP Alexi.
I don't. They won't have the price on their website.
Sometimes they've got the RRPs on the sites. Not always.
Yeah.
No.
So we can't give you that one, but the other one is the hexed, right?
Hexed. Correct. So the Alexi hexed is $1,649
for the LTD.
Yep. The ESP isn't showing up.
Yeah.
And then there's the M2. But we can guess they're probably going to be the same kind of pricing structure. Yeah, 1,600 to 1,700 for the LTD, made in Japan. The next up.
The other for this one, it's just the LTD in the custom shop, wasn't it?
Maybe.
That doesn't seem right. Yeah, ESP custom shop.
Oh, so it's not getting an M2 version or an E2. Sorry,
yeah.
That's fair enough. I can get that. E2's the kind of Eclipse spin-off, the Japanese domestic brand, in it.
Yeah.
I'm
honestly, I imagine his input in these will have been. It feels wrong to say significant because it's essentially just saying, scallop the board a bit, put a single coil in the neck. This is the color I'd like. How much input really goes in compared to the input that went in on Dimeback designing the Razorback? I assume that's the same shape as his other signatures. I could be wrong on that, but actually when I look at
the Razorback isn't this one.
Yeah, this bottom horn actually maybe looks a little bit bigger than what you get on the Randy Rhoads.
But that will be just LTD's way or ESP's way of not getting
Good point. Yeah.
struck, because that's roughly the exact shape of the ESP.
Yeah.
Kind of offset V shapes.
Right.
It's also got the same kind of cut, which would be like the bottom heel cut, I suppose. And that's quite a nice wee touch. I always felt that felt good. I had a DV8R. You remember that guitar?
I never saw it.
No, I didn't think so. That was a fucking nailer. That was a solid guitar.
Yeah.
Like, just one of the ones that got away, to be honest. I sold it to a really good friend of mine, to be fair. There's every chance I could maybe get it back if I wanted to. But that was just a great guitar. A solid black flying V. Proper full-size King V style, though. ESP headstock. It's Spersel tuners.
That 8-ball on the first fret?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it looked great. The only thing was obviously it still had the tramp stamp at 12th fret.
And an 8-ball on the first fret.
It wasn't really that, like, see, in terms of, like, stupid inlays, it wasn't that garish. Honestly, like, you wouldn't really notice it once you were playing it. Other people maybe noticed it a bit more, but it was a great guitar. It was solid, sounded great, it felt great, always stayed in tune.
It's just occurred to me when I did this, I want people to know I haven't bought a white Strat.
It's the same Strat with the light on it.
The light is just on it. Though, worth pointing out, anybody want my 8-string mayonnaise, I think I'll probably sell that for $1,400. Seem like a reasonable price?
That sounds very cheap to me.
That sounds very cheap to me too.
For a custom shop mayonnaise?
$1,500. Yeah, I guess $1,500.
Fucking hell, man, he's auctioning himself off now.
Yeah. Well, would I be happy with $1,400? I did buy an Evertune to put in it, and John put that in there. 14, 15.
With a good video down at John's.
I'm unsure on that one, but either way, I'm going to shift that. I want to buy another Strat. I really want to buy another Strat. That's
something we should revisit. We should go back down and see John and try and get some more content, because obviously we did do that before.
I think we'll go down and see Phil.
Well, Phil wants to come up here, apparently.
Oh, he didn't tell me that.
He did say that to me. He's got family to visit, but he wants to come by.
Yeah.
So that'll be nice.
Cool.
Another interesting one.
Yeah, so I think I already want another Strat, because Strats are really cool. You get cool sounds out of a Strat. I like that. So I've also been looking at that mayonnaise all for this entire podcast.
Yep.
It looks to me like there's a dent in the bridge pickup. In the top right of it. Anyway, people can't see that, so I don't know why I'm sharing this information with people that
just in the pickup cover.
Yeah,
that's an easy replacement.
Yeah, can you see it? Oh yeah, great. I'm going to have to replace a pickup cover on a guitar that I've had for fucking 3 weeks.
You don't have to replace it at all. It's totally not noticeable unless you are you.
But yeah. Oh, funnily enough, I am me.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, so there's that. I actually did use that guitar on YouTube. I did a live stream transcribing some Michael Romeo. And then at the end of the live stream, I decided I was going to learn to play the solo. And I did learn the solo, not at speed. 70% speed was pushing.
And that's where Justin Hornback's video came from.
Yeah.
Justin, what is wrong with you, man?
I know.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, Justin's a hell of a player.
He really is, man. See the ability to retain that and learn it so quick.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gone for me. I couldn't play it. But yeah, so there's that. I like telling people things like this, like Justin is a great guitar player. I love giving people information. I like giving them new information. For example, did you know? This show is brought to you by our friends over at Ormsby Guitars. We want to remind you guys that there is still time to get involved in the upcoming Run 16 guitars. Those include these incredible hypes available in 5 new colours. That Dragon Burst is absolutely stunning. You can also get your hands on one of the Metal X's, again available in a range of finishes. My personal pick has to be these headless Vs, absolutely outrageously cool. Imagine one of those in an 8-string, I absolutely love these. And finally, the Ando San signature model, available in 6, 7 and 8-string availability. Go and check them out at Ormsby's website right now. This show is also brought to you by our friends over at Rev Amplification, a one-stop shop for all of your tonal needs. Head on over to their website to check out their range of lunchbox amplifiers, both the D20 and G20, 20-watt amplifiers with built-in 2-notes torpedo technology so you can record direct into your computer. If that doesn't suit, you can also check out one of their highly popular G2, 3 and 4 pedals, giving you that trademark Rev tone in a stomp box. Incredible tones, I use these myself. And finally, you may notice in the back of these videos a Rev Generator 120, an absolute masterclass in modern electric guitar tones. Check it out at their site now. So as always, a huge thanks to our friends and family over at both Ormsby Guitars and Rev Amplification. And then I feel like an extra special thanks, an extra thank you, Vinny, over at VPix. I love you too. I love you too, bud. It's been, Jesus, a decade I've been working with Vinny now. Where does the time go? Ah. Ah. Ah.
We are getting old, aren't we?
Yeah.
Even talking about the podcast, and you were like, episode 114, and then you went, no, it's episode 124, and then went like, the two kind of just went, fuck.
Yeah, where does it go?
This has been going for some time.
Remember episode 100?
Yes.
Where we did our drunk live stream?
Yes.
We're a quarter of the way to 200 already.
Yes.
When's it?
I'm scared.
Yeah.
Join us at episode 500, where we freebase meth.
Fantastic.
You and I at the back, a crack pipe.
I don't think that would be entertaining for people, whereas I think maybe like a listening party stream with mushrooms would be the one, wouldn't it?
Don't you write checks with your ass that your mouth can't cash? Wrong way round. Your mouth, your ass can't cash.
Yeah. So yeah.
Don't write checks with your ass that your mouth can't cash.
What do you guys
Fucking
want to
hell.
see? Let us know when you would like. What show number would you like us to do a live stream for, and have a bevy?
Number
I know
420.
Mike doesn't like to have a drink anymore, apparently, because he's.
I do like to have a
too
drink.
old.
I don't like to be hungover.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, one usually comes with the other.
Yeah, not for me still.
Prick. I saw a thing online that was like a hangover patches that you stick on your body, right? And it's like meant to be the same idea as taking like the milk and magnesia tablets or whatever.
Right.
And I was like, oh, that's quite interesting. They comes in packs of 6. Guess how much they are. You can guess how much they are individually or how much it costs you for 6.
You're probably looking at what, $5 each?
£90 for the box. £15 a patch.
Jesus. Some people take the piss.
I mean, don't get me wrong, if you were thinking to yourself, these actually work and I have got like a full day shot to do with the boys at a wedding or family day out or going out with your partner or whatever, like where you're like, I do want to drink, I want to have that as part of my social interaction.
If they fucking work.
That's what I'm saying, if they did
Yeah.
work, then you would maybe be like, right, as a total one-off, right, I know I'm going after rails tonight, but this will at least keep me somewhere
I'm
alive
totally with
tomorrow.
you. Totally
right?
with you on that.
Outside of that, not a fucking chance.
Yeah, and I just don't think for a second that they would work consistently.
No.
Do a reliable job.
Good friend of mine tried the milk and magnesia tablets that you get, and he said they were great.
Yeah.
Jen, you take, was it 1 or 2 before you drink, and then 1 when you go to bed? He said every time he woke up, he felt fresh as a fucking daisy.
Story of my life.
You just...
I also just
Probably
don't
because you usually
drink.
drink yourself to the point where you spew it all up anyway,
Good point, yeah.
into people's gardens and shit. I'm alright.
Yeah, that's me. I drink like a prom queen. What can I say?
It's the fact that you were doing it, you were like, no, this is what I wanted. You're like, no, it isn't. You
Yeah.
wanted to drink and have a laugh. No, I want to drink too much.
Yeah, I love drinking too much. It's fantastic drinking too much. I don't know why.
Terrible man.
Because I don't do it very often. So, you know.
Everything in moderation, especially moderation.
Exactly. As always, please do send us some fan mail to GsolesFanMail@gmail.com. Head on over to Buy Me a Coffee, link in the description. You can support the show over there. We'll be doing a bonus show at some point this week because Mike's got a week off work. Is that right?
Yes, it is. So I'll be down at some point this week for us to do the Rust in Peace listening party.
Say that. He's got a week off work. I remember the last time he had a week off work and he was too busy to do anything all week. So it's entirely possible. Mike likes to, well, I was going to say likes to fill his time. Let me rephrase that. Mike has his time filled when
Things happen.
he has time off.
Real life gets in the way, and I say it often.
Yeah.
So, just for clarification of what you're
Sure.
saying as well, I totally agree with you. I might have a week off work. I do not have a week off.
Yeah.
Let's just make that abundantly clear.
Sure.
But-
So cool, Mike. I'm not even going to ask you if you've got anything you want to add because you're just going to recycle the things that I just said. So instead, I'm going to throw it to you, Mike. Until next time.
Like the video, bye fuckers.